All right. Your next question, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, we left off at the point when you were being told to let the first responders take care of Christine. Do you recall who it was that advised you to go into the bathroom?
I did not know the names of anybody at that point.
Okay. When you went into the bathroom, what, if anything, did you do while they were tending to Christine?
I was instructed to sit on the edge of the tub.
Okay. And at that point, what condition were you in?
I was panicked, shocked, worried, scared. I felt like I was having a very hard time breathing, and my leg was bothering me, seemed to be spasming.
Okay. We saw from the body cam video, excuse me, we saw from the body cam video you received, I guess, a checkup in the ambulance?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of the officers took me to an ambulance.
And what was that? What was the basis for them to get you checked out? Do you know?
I know at one point when I was in the bathroom, I went to the ground.
Okay.
And I wasn't walking properly. So they seemed to want to get me checked out.
When you arrived back home from the McDonald's, were you having any difficulties physically?
No.
During the period of time of what you described on February 24th within the bedroom, were you struck in any way that would have affected your lower extremities?
I don't remember being hit in my leg at all. I only remember being hit in the back of my shoulder.
Okay. And when you, I think it's partially showing on the body cam, but when you went down, describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happened.
I was crying. I was having, I guess I would say that I was hyperventilating. I stabilized myself with my hands on the floor. And I was scared for Christine.
Okay. And at some point you, as we see in the evidence that's been presented, you go to the ambulance and you go to the hospital, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about another topic that came up during the trial. What, if anything, did you know about the purchase of windows at your house?
Windows were, Christine and I started looking for windows back in 2021. We received quotes from 10, 12, 15 different vendors. The shopping process was long. Over the course of the quotes and shopping process, we've refined that we wanted triple pane windows because the front of my house has quite a bit of southern exposure. A lot of sun comes in there, and the foyer would get very warm. Also, the windows, some of the windows in my house were stuck closed where we couldn't open them. Christine complained about that none of our windows had screens. And one of the windows by the back door was off center enough that there was actually a slight gap to the outside. And the smallest window in the basement, for some reason, was a single pane window and would allow cold to come in. So that was a lot of the reasons why we shopped for windows.
And you indicated you went through numerous vendors?
Yes.
And when, if you know, did you agree upon vinyl light windows?
I believe we agreed on, I believe we had a second quote from Vinylite in the summer, the early summer of 2022, which is before any relationship with Juliana. And we received an updated quote with the triple pane windows. I believe it was in July of 2022, which is also before any relationship with Juliana. And we placed the final order in August and I believe made the first payment before any relationship was with any relationship with Juliana, meaning that the windows were fully decided prior to any relationship with Juliana.
Now, did you ever go outside and screen in some sort of a test?
No, it's ridiculous. I did at one point speculate to Juliana that I wondered if our neighbors didn't hear the gunshots because of the windows. That's the only thing that I ever remember saying to Juliana, and that was after February 24th, after some of my neighbors had spoke to me and said that they didn't hear anything.
Now, the window job that you had Vinylite do was a full replacement of all the windows.
Yes, it was replacement of every window.
Okay. And was there anything about the windows in the bedroom that was greater in terms of soundproofing or greater in terms of efficiency than the other windows around the house?
No, the entire house was chosen to do triple pane windows. There was a couple windows that were slightly different. One of them was the pane window in the master bathroom, which was obscured glass so that people can't see into the master bathroom. We changed the style of window of the basement smallest window to being double pane and triple pane in a sliding style. I think that was the main changes besides upgrading to triple pane and the different repairs and things that we wanted in terms of features.
Now, moving on to the personal weapon that you have.
Okay.
Was that the one that Juliana used on the 24th?
Yes, my personal firearm was a Glock 43X.
And where do you normally keep that?
I keep it in my firearm safe, which is inside of my master bedroom closet.
Okay. And do you know, was that firearm in the safe and locked on the 24th of February?
Yes, the firearm was in the safe and locked on the 24th of February.
And did Juliana have access to the code?
Juliana had Juliana knew the code because the code was the same as my door code to the house. And at different points, she was in my master bedroom closet and observed me putting away my firearms.
And so when you testified that she went into the closet and you thought it was for towels?
So when she went to the bathroom, I mean, I guess, first, I can't see the master bedroom closet from where I was in the bedroom. When I told her to watch him and call 911, I didn't know what exactly she was doing at that moment, and I couldn't see that she went to the safe.
And at what point did you realize that she had gone to the safe?
Only after she shot.
And at some point, were you able to confirm that your personal weapon was being used?
Well, yes, I saw that she had my weapon.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the day before, November 23rd.
February 23rd?
I'm sorry, February 23rd, I apologize. Were you aware of any vacation plans for you and the members of your family?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you know about the vacation plans?
Christina and I already had a cruise that was planned for, I don't know, maybe May or June of 2023. That was planned earlier with a large part of our family was going to be attending to that. But Christine and I were planning another trip, which was going to possibly be to Punta Cana, which is where we had our honeymoon originally, and so we had discussed that, and she was telling me about some of the resorts that she had been looking at.
Okay, and was Royalton Resorts one of those?
That, I believe, was the one that she liked the best, and she sent me a message wanting me to look at it and basically to see if I agreed, and if we would probably book it relatively soon if we thought that would work out, and we'd have to figure out, days off and things like that.
Do you remember where you were when you received that message?
Actually, I think I was in the living room with her. I think she just sent it to me as like, this is what we're saving so that we could, continue to review it later.
Okay, to show her?
Yes.
Or to show you, I guess.
Yes.
And how did you receive that message?
Generally, when we message, we don't use standard text messaging. Our usual messenger of choice was Facebook Messenger, and that's how I received that.
Okay. And you were in the same room with her?
I believe I was in the same room with her. We were in and out of the same room together frequently that day. That day was my birthday.
Specifically relating to that request or the discussion about the travel arrangements, did you ever take control of her laptop?
No, she was sitting on the couch using her laptop, and we were discussing it while I was playing with Lego with Valerie.
And did you ever use her phone regarding that discussion?
No, I never used her phone.
Did she ever leave to go anywhere during that discussion regarding resorts?
Not that I remember. At some point, I took Valerie to bed, and bedtime at that time usually involved a story or two, brushing teeth, getting changed, so that took 20, 30 minutes, and then I returned to Christine after I was done with bed for Valerie.
When you returned to Christine, did she have her devices still?
Yes.
Now, this was your birthday, so what was going on at the house that day?
One of my friends, Nishant, came over. He brought me a box of large cookies from, I believe it was Midnight Treats, and but really we didn't do anything for my birthday because Valerie had swim lessons that day, so I had taken Valerie to swim lessons. Christine had told me she had to work late. I don't think she got back until after 8. Christine and I had celebrated my birthday, I guess, the day before. On the 22nd, we went to Korean barbecue, me, Christine, and Valerie.
Okay. And on the 23rd, which was your birthday, where was Juliana?
I don't know where Juliana was when we were talking about the vacations. I do know that she came with me to the gym. She actually worked out with Nishant at the gym, and then Nishant came back to our house later. I was with Valerie at the pool.
Okay. And when the discussions regarding resorts and all that sort of stuff was going on, was Juliana around for that?
I don't know where she was, but she was not in the living room, kitchen, main floor area.
Was Christine's laptop there with you guys?
Yes.
Was her phone with you guys?
I don't seem to remember much about her phone that day because my recollection is her using the laptop, and that's where she was doing the research that we were talking about.
Now, did there come a time when you recorded Lily and the sounds that Lily made and makes?
Yes. I believe it was in the summer of 24.
Okay. And in doing that recording, why were you making a recording of Lily's sounds?
Ryan Campbell which is Juliana's attorney, had come to my house because he wanted to view the layout of the house and see how far it took to get to places, and where my gun safe was and things like that. And when he was there, I had Lily outside because I didn't want her to bother him, and he heard sounds of Lily whining and complaining to come in because she was separated from everyone on the inside, and I believe it reminded him of the noise.
Speculation. Sustained as to.
I don't think you can say what he thought.
Okay.
What, if anything, did he ask you to do?
Objection, hearsay.
Based upon your conversation with him, what, if anything, did you do?
I recorded the sounds that Lily made.
Okay. And have you listened to the file of Lily 3?
Yes.
And does that accurately represent the sounds that Lily made?
Yes, I sent several different recordings I made several different recordings for her, yes.
Okay. Are you aware of the one Lily 3?
Yes.
And you've heard it and you've listened to it,
Yes,
and that reflects the sounds that Lily makes.
yes, it does.
Your Honor, I move that in as defense exhibit number 377.
Any objection?
No objection.
377 is a different, it was annotated as a different exhibit. Do you want to make it 378?
Yes, sorry, Judge, I thought we'd stopped at 376, so that's why.
You tried to get 377 in, but we didn't, so
Yeah,
378?
378, thank
Okay,
you.
378 in evidence.
And Your Honor, may I just chat with counsel for 1 second? Your Honor, the file that I was about to move in is already in evidence in the Commonwealth's case, the 911 call.
Okay, that's the exhibit 1 or exhibit 2 or 3? We have 3 911.
I believe it's Exhibit 1.
Okay. All right.
Court's intelligence. For 1 minute.
Yes, yes, sir.
Sir, have you ever used or looked at FetLife prior to the discovery that's come out in this case?
No, I had never used or looked at or heard of FetLife previously.
Were you aware of Christine using FetLife at all?
No, I didn't have any knowledge of Christine using FetLife.
Did you have any knowledge of whether she had used Craigslist ever?
I think that she did back in New York to advertise that we had a yard sale.
Okay. And that would be the extent of the use of Craigslist?
That's the only time that I can remember.
How about something called Backpage? Did you ever know her to have used those kind of things?
No.
Was there any sort of, well, let me ask you this. How is it that you and Christine would primarily communicate?
Primarily, we would communicate on the phone. We would talk almost, when Christine would leave from work, she would almost always call me. Obviously in person when we're together. And if it's messages, such as when we're both at work, we usually use Facebook Messenger.
Now, in terms of what you've observed with FetLife, in your own relationship, were any of those sorts of things done in the bedroom?
There was a point a number of years ago that Christine had indicated that she was interested in bondage type situations.
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
without getting into what she had said, were there times when,
Objection leading?
Sustained is leading.
what if any times were there conflict in terms of sexual?
Objection leading?
Sustained is leading.
In terms of your sexual relationship with Christine, what if any differences did you have?
I was not interested in ever harming her. I was never interested in sexual violence. I would say that we also had a discrepancy of how often we would like to have sex, or I would like to have sex more frequently than we did.
But did those differences, what if any effect did those differences have on your relationship with Christine?
I would say that those differences caused some of the reasons why we had affairs at various points in our relationship.
Did you love your wife?
Yes.
Do you love your daughter?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any sort of plan for what February 24th became?
No, it was a situation I was never expecting, never expected to be in, would never want anyone to be in.
In terms of looking back on February 24th, what, if any, things do you think you would do differently?
Objection relevance?
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, things would you do differently in the room confronting Joe Ryan?
Objection relevance?
I'll sustain as to relevance.
When you shot Joe Ryan, were you aware of where you had hit him immediately?
No,
When was it that you found out that you'd hit him in the head?
actually, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure where I hit him until we had discovery.
And why did you shoot Joe Ryan on February 24th?
He was attacking Christine. I mean, he was stabbing her. I mean, I wish I shot him earlier.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Cross-examination?
It's my power cord in your way. It's my power cord in your way.